Welcome to the NCDWI Guide podcast, where defenders of the Constitution assemble to prepare for courtroom battle and firm owners gather to develop marketing strategies that will revolutionize the practice of criminal defense. Here's your host, the NCDWI guy, Jake Minnick.
Hello, fellow freedom fighters, and welcome to episode 173 of the NCDWI Guy podcast. On today's episode, we are talking about the best investment that you can make for your law firm. So no, chit chat, no small talk of a topic that we've got going on today. We are going into what is the best investment that you can make to grow and build your law practice. So pretty cool topic to be diving into today. Before I get to that topic, I wanted to share a adventure that I had yesterday. So yesterday, August the 6th, was my 38th birthday. And about a week ago, my wife asked me, what do you want to do for your birthday? And, just didn't really have a good sense of maybe grill out. I like cooking on the grill. And somehow over the next 24 to 48 hours, I got an idea for an adventure. My dad used to tell us as kids, or at least I know he told me this. So if he didn't tell my siblings, then that's their problem. But my dad used to tell me regularly, every day is an adventure. Every day is an adventure. And when you live that way, which I have not done very frequently in my life, but when you live with every day being an adventure, it is amazing the difference that can have on your kind of zest for living. And so I went to my wife and I was like, I got an idea. I want to run at least 38-mile run. And so I picked as the starting point for my run the Hilton in Biltmore Park, which is where we will be hosting our Freedom Fighters Summit coming up here in 2 months. The Biltmore Park, the Hilton at Biltmore Park is approximately a mile away from the Mountains to Sea Trail. The Mountains to Sea Trail is about a mile north of the Hilton. And so basically get on the Mountains to Sea Trail and then run up to Mount Mitchell. Mountains to Sea Trail whole way basically ended up being right at about 43 and a half miles. We got lost. My friend James and I got lost for probably about a half a mile up close to the summit. So it was probably a truly 43-mile climb and many descents in between the climb, but just an amazing, epic birthday. I started the run at 4:00 in the morning. I got to run in the dark for about 2 to 2.5 hours. I had set up a drop bag the night before at about mile 19. Thank goodness that drop bag was still there when I came through the following day, and changed everything out. My friend James met me at around mile 25, and he had the worst of the journey. I mean, it was some pretty gnarly climbs and descents from that point on. I think the total run had about 11,000 plus change in elevation gain. So it was a pretty serious run. Ended up taking close to 12 hours. I think I finished in about 11 hours and 45 minutes. And it was just an amazing day. Just so much natural beauty that I got to take in throughout the run. I mean, parts of, these North Carolina mountains that I live so close to that just had never seen, obviously these stretches of trail, but just some of the overlooks and some of the different foliage and the way that the Black Mountains look as you're running through. I mean, it just was an incredible, incredible adventure. A lot of fun on the adventure. I was having a great time at the beginning of the run, making some recordings. A lot of fun with James when he got on. We did some funny videos together, and a lot of difficult moments. There was, just some climbing that I was not mentally probably prepared for, and some tough, dark spots along the way. But it was an adventure. And I think all great accomplishments, all great successes come through hard work, at least the ones that are the most rewarding. When you have to pour your blood and sweat into a goal, whatever that goal might be, there is just something that is so valuable and rewarding that comes from that kind of hard-earned success. And so I will just say this: make today an adventure, make tomorrow an adventure, live every day as an adventure. The difference that you will see in life, and that I felt yesterday, it was obviously you can't go on that type of a run every day, but there's so much adventure to be found in the small moments of life that we get swept up into the routine. We get swept up into the mundane. It just feels like every day is the same as the next. Time is flying by because we, have a difficult time living intentionally, as our kind of habits and routines, keep us in, working through the grind, day after day. And it's so easy to forget the amazing adventure of life that we get to live. So make today an adventure. So in terms of our topic for today, again, the best investment at your firm. What does the best investment at your firm look like? When you sit down and you look at kind of like, let's say, the numbers of your firm, and where is your like financial resources going? You can look at a whole laundry list of different places that you are kind of, let's say, pouring into your business. And all of these are necessary and important: payroll, office space and utilities, technology, advertising. You can look at even like specific costs, if you want to call them that, but I would more characterize these as specific investments that you are making at your firm. Marketing, brand building, your knowledge of the law, so CLEs and legal trainings that you might attend to kind of help yourself become a better lawyer. From a true investment perspective, a 401k plan at your office, for yourself if you're solo, for your team. All of these things, costs and investments. There's so many places that our financial resources are going at the firm. And so what is the best place to spend your firm's resources? What is the best place to pour your money in? Well, I think that this is to me an undisputable question. I'm going to give it a little bit in a general term, but the category of where you should be spending your investment dollars is in your people. And we're gonna talk about what this looks like. But you don't, Zig Ziglar said, you don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business. I'm gonna say that again because I think this is an incredibly powerful quote. You don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business. I think this is something that is somewhat so obvious, but at the same time, something we very often overlook. I think everybody understands that having the right people in a business is what makes the business click. Every time that you go into a place and you've got great customer service, you can see that that business is functioning well because of the people there. You can see how important that is to the overall, customer experience. It's so critical to have the people equation right. And I would say that it's this where our mental energies should be going in terms of investing. So, where do you start? Where do you start when you're looking uh, at people and where to invest? Well, I'm gonna let Warren Buffett answer this one. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you'll earn. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. I feel like this past weekend, my wife was so awesome to kind of support me through this run and kind of help. She came, picked me up. She helped to kind of make arrangements for all of the different scheduling things that were going on, and having that time of reflection and enjoyment of the beauty of nature. It was just such a special thing, something I will literally never forget. That's probably one of the most memorable birthdays I've ever had in my life. And it really is incredible, the dividends that can come from investing in yourself. Why is this important? Why is this important? Because I feel like if you've got a team of people around you, that is the priority. The team is the priority. The people, the people that you have working at your office, partners, associates, admin team, that's what drives the firm forward. But if you are not investing in yourself, if you're not investing in yourself, there's absolutely no chance that you are investing wisely or at all in your team. You have to some extent in this area, lead by example. John Maxwell says the first person you lead is you. The great guru of leadership, John Maxwell, says the first person you lead is you. Are you leading yourself well? Because if you're going to try to lead a team, you better be able to lead yourself first and foremost. The first person you lead is you. One more quote. Benjamin Franklin says, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. How are you investing in yourself? Now, here's the question to ask when it comes to how are you doing this at your firm, or a couple of questions. If I walked up to any law firm owner on any given day and I asked this question, would you like to run a more successful law firm? Just simply put that to them. Would you like to run a more successful law firm? The answer to that question would undoubtedly be yes. Would you like to run a more successful law firm? The answer to that question would undoubtedly be yes. Here's the important question. What are you doing to make that happen? What are you doing to make that happen? That's what this is again, these simple questions, right? Would you like to run a more successful law firm? Yes, of course. What are you doing to make that happen? We have got to be intentional about investing in ourselves. we've got to be intentional about investing in ourselves, because if we're not really focused and concerned on improving ourselves, there's no chance, absolutely zero chance, that our firms are going to improve. And everybody knows how important it is to run a successful practice, to run a successful business. Now, what is the problem for the vast majority of law firm owners, including myself? What's the real problem for us? For people that hang their own shingle, as I did, for most criminal defense district court attorneys, superior court as well. It really doesn't matter. This doesn't matter for this topic. For most of us that are working in solo or small criminal defense firms, what's the problem? None of us have a background in business. Should give a caveat. Most of us don't have a background in business. Now, why is that a problem? Why is that a issue? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because you are running a legal business. If you are working for another firm, if you are an associate, if you are a non-equity partner, if you're working in a big firm, if you're working in a small firm, and you're not the owner, then your job is to be an amazing attorney. That's your number one job. And it's an extremely, extremely important job, because that is, again, the delivery of service comes through the individuals. And if you are not on top of your A game and crushing it in that role, then the firm is going to suffer. You're not going to be able to live the adventure that you want to live. If you're playing it safe, you got to get out there and get after it in that role. But if you are a law firm owner, your primary job is not to be a lawyer. It's maybe still a very important job. It might be one of the hats that you wear. It might be the hat that you wear most often in terms of time spent, but it's not your most important job. If you own a legal business, and again, that can be, you have a 200 square foot office, your name is painted on the doormat, right? Not on the side of the building. That costs too much. Maybe you just went and online and you got a doormat that says Law Offices of John Smith. If you're the owner of your firm, the most important role that you have is to become a better business person, because that's what's going to allow you to run a better business, to run a more successful practice, to run a practice that people want to come work at because you've created the right culture, to run a practice that clients want to come and hire you to handle their case because of the client experience that you have built in. All of this comes from the vision and the time spent in thinking about these things that the law firm owner is responsible for. So we've got to invest in ourselves as the CEOs of our companies. We've got to invest in ourselves as the equity partners at our firms. We've got to invest in ourselves as the sole proprietors of our law business. This is our primary responsibility. It's our primary responsibility. You've got to start with yourself. Got to ask yourself this question: how am I becoming a better businessman or businesswoman? What am I doing to become a better business owner? So what are some things that you should be thinking about when asking these questions? Well, when was the last time that you read a business book? When was the last time that you listened to a business podcast? If you're listening to this today, this counts. You got brownie points. So this is definitely a business oriented podcast. But how often is that happening? How much of a priority are you making that in terms of your overall listening time? When was the last time you attended a business conference, if ever? When was the last time you went to a local meeting or social for business people? People from other service industries, local business meetings, young professionals, whatever it might be, Kiwanis, whatever the kind of unique meeting space that you want to get involved in is. When was the last time that you did that? When was the last time that you carved out an hour, an afternoon to work on your business? Is that something that is scheduled in? Because if you're not working hard to improve your business muscle, then you are in big trouble. You're in big trouble. And it also is, it's bad for the legal profession in general. It's why I'm so passionate about us helping one another as a criminal defense bar to elevate our practices, because we are a reflection on each other. We're a reflection on each other when it comes to the public's perception of criminal defense lawyers. And so if we are killing it in our legal businesses, the impact that has on people's perception generally of the legal profession, and specifically when it comes to criminal defense lawyers, is massive. We are helping each other out in a major way when we run more effective businesses, more helpful businesses, more concerned businesses. We help each other out when we've got that as the focus. So what are you doing to invest in yourself? Really ask that question. Again, think through these questions. Would you like to run a more successful law firm? If the answer is yes, what are you doing to make that happen? This cannot just be a passive yes. Oh yeah, of course I'd like to have a more successful practice. No, if you're serious, if you really do want to have a more successful business, you've got to make this a priority. This has got to be something that's important. And as much as you need to invest in your business acumen, as much as you need to invest in yourself in terms of becoming a better marketer, a better at branding, better at culture, better at leadership, as much as you need to be investing in those things, you also need to look at other aspects of your life, right? Your mental and your physical health are so important to being a great leader. Again, the first person you lead is yourself. If you want to be a player, and if you want, well, I should say, if you want to create a team of A players, you better make sure that you are an A player, because only A players can attract other A players. So you better take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask that question. I've got to take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, where are my shortcomings? Am I spending enough time on my mental health? Am I spending enough time on my physical health? Am I spending enough time with the important people in my life, my family? Am I spending enough time developing the spiritual relationship with Jesus Christ that I want to be developing? Am I spending enough time with friends and those other people that are important in my life? If you're not working on all those areas, there's no chance. There's no chance for success in the business world, because again, this is a team-oriented game. This is a people-oriented industry. We are a team of people serving people, right? If you're a solo practitioner, you're the lawyer, you've got a client. This is a people to people business that we are in. It's all about building people and building people in the law firm. The criminal defense small law firm is about building people by building yourself first. When it comes to these mental and physical and spiritual areas, sit down and create a list of how are you making it happen that you are going to become more successful spiritually, mentally, physically. What is your plan for exercise? What are you reading? What are you soaking in? What type of messaging are you putting into your brain? Are you putting into your brain uplifting and positive messaging, or is your brain messaging the, daily horrific news that's coming out of any major news media outlet? How are you building your mind as a muscle? Are you spending time in prayer? Are you spending time in solitude to make sure that the mental batteries are getting recharged? Are you taking vacations? Are you scheduling time away from the grind in the office so that if you take care of yourself, you then can take care of your people, both your employees and your clients? You got to lead yourself first. How much time do you spend with those that matter to you when it comes to relationships, family, and friends? How are you making sure that you're investing well in those areas? Do you have a date night schedule with your spouse? Do you have family trips that are coming up? What are you doing on a daily basis to get to know your kids better? These are the areas that we need to focus on in order to improve ourselves, in order to improve the quality of life for ourselves and very clearly for those around us, especially those people that are important to us around us. So you've got to begin this journey with taking a long, hard look at yourself. Got to invest. This is an investment. You've got to invest in yourself if you want to be a better business person. If you want to be a more successful law firm owner, what are you doing to make that happen? Hey, podcast listeners, I want to briefly interrupt today's episode to invite you to join me at the inaugural Freedom Fighter Summit in Asheville this October. This in-person only event is designed for growth-minded lawyers determined to take their criminal defense practice to the next level. Due to the size of the summit's venue, there are a limited number of seats available. Don't miss out on the incredible lineup of speakers and spectacular networking opportunity that this summit provides. For more details, visit www.miniclaw.com/summit. Enter the promo code NCDWIGUY, all lowercase, all one word, at checkout for $150 off your summit ticket. Look forward to seeing you there. Now back to the show. If you are investing in yourself appropriately and intentionally, it's going to have an impact on the rest of your team. Whether you have one receptionist, whether you have 3 people in admin and 2 associate attorneys, whoever your team is, whoever the other people in your office are, if you're investing in yourself, that automatically is going to have a trickle-down effect in your people because you're leading by example. However, leading by example in this area is not enough. You have got to make sure that you are investing in your team. If you want your team to operate better, if you want them to get better at their tasks at the office, if you want them to deliver better client experience, you need to make that a focus area, a focal point. You've got to train in that area. Just working and slogging away at the job every day doesn't always help you improve. Now, the level of service may be consistent if you're not looking to improve. Your technology systems may not fall apart, but they're not getting better unless you're actively trying to improve your team, improve the system. Jack Welch once said, "The team with the best players usually does win." This is why you need to invest the majority of your time and energy in developing your people. I'm going to read that again. The team with the best players usually does win. This is why you need to invest the majority of your time and energy into developing your people. That's it, man, right? That is the most powerful messaging when it comes to the type of culture that we should all be shooting for, is a culture in which every person at the office has somebody else that is looking to help them get better. Said this a lot on the podcast. If you're not growing, you're dying. We need to surround ourselves with people that are looking to flourish, not just survive. We need to make that a part of the culture. And it is our responsibility as the owner of the business, as the leader of the business, to make sure that we are spending the majority of our time developing our people, giving them the resources to get better at what they do day in and day out. People, this is something that it never ceases to amaze me. People are incredible. The things that people can do, whether it is, in their jobs, in their families, sports accomplishments, music, theater, whatever the area is, people are just absolutely fascinating to me. Incredible. The amount of just unbelievable things that people can do is so inspiring. And so again, we've got our team, we've got our people. What are we doing to help them kind of raise the bar? How are we helping them to perform at a higher level? Because ultimately everybody wants to do that. There is very few people that just kind of want to scrape by. Most people want to improve, get better, rise up, move to a new level. That is engaging. That's powerful motivation right there. When you think about your technology, there's constantly this little reminder notification that you get on your technology that says it's time to update, right? Time to update. And what is an update in the technology world? When it's time to move on to, Apple iOS 7.13.1, whatever the next update is, when it's time to update, what is that update accomplishing? It's making the technology better. It's improving the app functionality. It's improving the delivery of data. It's getting better. That's why these updates occur. What are we doing to update ourselves, to update our team? If you are not updating, you are becoming outdated. If you are not updating, you are becoming outdated. And I think that is a major problem for any business owner. Doesn't matter if it's the law or anything else. One of the major problems, one of the major reasons that businesses fail is because they become stagnant. They become outdated. They stop trying to improve. They stop trying to raise the bar. They stop trying to figure out a better way of doing things, a better way of delivering to the client. We cannot let that become our mentality. And so, same questions that you were asking yourself a few minutes ago, if you want to become a better business owner, what are you doing to make this happen? Well, same kind of question for the rest of your team. What are you doing to help your team become better in their roles? These are the two most powerful questions that you can ask, and the answer dictates whether you are going to have a more successful practice tomorrow, next year, 10 years down the road. What are you doing to make yourself a more successful law firm owner? And what are you doing to help your team get better in their specific roles? How are you supporting your team in growing in knowledge, investing in them? So, the best investment that you can make at your office is in your people, beginning with you. Again, little promo here to close this episode out. We've got the Freedom Fighter Summit coming up in a little over 2 months. This is where small criminal defense law firm owners are coming together to get better at this. We are focusing on marketing, branding, leadership, culture, finances, community engagement, creating an A team, hiring. This is what we are going to focus on. If you are hoping for a better law practice, if you want to run a more successful practice, that's what this is going to be about. And we've got an incredible group of firm owners already signed up for the event. And in the spirit of wanting to help educate teams, I've got something to deliver on this side of things. So our entire team at the office is coming to the summit. 10 attorneys and about 10 staff from my office will be at the summit. And the reason that my entire team and staff included is coming is because I know that this is going to help everybody that is at this event become better people. End of the day, that's what this is going to be about, is improving yourself in all of these different areas of your life. We've seen a lot of the attendees also signing up their admin teams. And this is going to be such an incredible opportunity for our staff and other law firms who bring their staff to allow, that person that's in an office manager position or in a leadership position on your team to have the ability to bounce ideas off of other people in similar roles in other law firms. So, beginning today, we are going to allow up to 2 non-attorney members of your admin team, to get a ticket to the Freedom Fighter Summit for $100. That's right, $100 for up to 2 people on your team. Go to the website to sign them up, use promo code TEAM, and each ticket, if you only need one, it's $100. You can get up to 2 at $200. We want to encourage the growth of everybody at our firm here on our team. And I think for everybody that's attending, it's going to be monumentally valuable to have their team members coming along with them. I know our team's going to get a ton out of having the ability to bounce ideas off of other teams' admin, groups. So really hope that you can make it in October. If you want an opportunity to invest in yourself and in your team, which is ultimately the most important investment that you can make, is in your people, beginning with you, then I hope to see you at the Freedom Fighter Summit this October.